Good evening, I'm Dave Karger. Thanks for joining me here on TCM for the final night in our Star of the Month salute to Marilyn Monroe. We're winding down our tribute with a lineup of films Monroe made later in her career, when she was not only a Hollywood superstar, but was well on her way to becoming one of the most iconic figures of the 20th century. Up first, she stars in one of the most memorable comedies from writer, director, and producer Billy Wilder. Released by United Artists in 1959, also starring Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis, it's Some Like It Hot. Lemmon and Curtis play two jazz musicians who accidentally witnessed the St. Valentine's Day massacre in Chicago and are forced to get out of town before they become the gangsters' next target. They take a job with an orchestra that's headed for Florida, but there's one small catch. It's an all-female outfit, so in order to play and travel with them, the men disguise themselves as women. That, of course, presents all kinds of comic complications, especially when Curtis begins to fall for the lead singer in the band, played by Marilyn Monroe. Originally, Billy Wilder planned to cast Danny Kaye and Bob Hope as the two male leads in Some Like It Hot, but he eventually changed his mind and decided on Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis. Lemmon was already an Oscar winner, and Curtis had just earned critical acclaim for his dramatic performance in Sweet Smell of Success, but neither of them was a major star like Danny Kaye or Bob Hope. Wilder needed a big name on the bill, especially since making a movie about cross-dressing musicians was considered risky in Hollywood at the time. Mitzi Gaynor was in the running for the role of the lead singer, but it was a part that Marilyn Monroe wanted to play. And with a bona fide superstar like Monroe headlining the program, Wilder was able to cast Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis. From 1959, also with Joe E. Brown, George Raft, and Pat O'Brien, here is Some Like It Hot. Some Like It Hot was considered a daring film for 1959, and many people in Hollywood cautioned Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis against making it. But in the hands of director Billy Wilder, the movie delighted audiences and became a huge hit. It also received 6 Oscar nominations, including one for Jack Lemmon as Best Actor. Billy Wilder was nominated twice for Best Director and Best Screenplay, which he shared with his co-writer, I.A.L. Diamond. This was their second collaboration, and it also reunited each of them with Marilyn Monroe. At the beginning of the decade, before she broke through as a star, Monroe had appeared in 2 other comedies written by Diamond, Love Nest from 1951 and Monkey Business from 1952. Then, at the height of her popularity, Monroe gave a legendary performance in another Billy Wilder comedy, The 7-Year Itch, released in 1955. Up next, Marilyn Monroe stars in her final movie role in a 1961 drama co-starring Clark Gable and Montgomery Clift.
Next on TCM, The Misfits, then The Prince and the Showgirl, and later, The Goddess. TCM is a shrine to heavenly beauty tonight.